Howdy, tubers and footers. I hope everybody's doing good today. I'm just soaking. I really overdid it, but we made it. We made a big push, so got most everything packed up. Just got the last little bits and then cleaning left to do. So, goody, goody, goody. I wasn't sure if I was going to even make it through all that, but we did it. And voila. I'm super stoked about that. We got a lot going on. Joe's graduation ice cream party today. Yay! That was one of the things while I was laying in my bed with chemo being pumped directly into my arms. I wanted to see my boy graduate, and he did it. Super proud of him. He overcame a lot of obstacles to get there. And, you know, he maintained his job through it all and a good, solid attitude, and he never gave up. Super proud of him. So, we got that going on and just the last minute cleaning and stuff, so I'll give you guys a walk through our house when it's all done and said and done here in the next couple days here. It's pretty awesome. Pretty happy. Yeah, it brought up a lot of raw, tough emotions in me because of all of my healing, you know, from leukemia has been done in this house. And so that's the whole reason we bought this house, was so I can have a safe space to heal. And it provided me that, you know, and a place for our family. And it's done that very well. And so hopefully, you know, when we head back to Alaska, we can get things straightened out up there, and who knows what our life is going to bring, but it will more than likely include going back and forth between Alaska and Oregon, which is okay. We're just going to make the best out of it. And, you know, that's kind of been my frustration all along, I think, is that I just wanted to get over this and get my life back. And it's been well over a decade, and so I need to stop that fight, you know, and focus on a different path forward, you know, my artwork and, you know, enjoying my time with my family. That is so precious to me, and I really, really, you know, try and soak up as much of that as possible. It's been really fun. I had two of my awesome nephews over here and my sister-in-law for burgers the other day. Love those kids so much. They're really amazing. That's one of my titles I take very seriously, is Aunt Whack. Love those kids a lot. So it'll be fun to see everybody. It'll probably be the last time we see the family down here. That's where Captain Jake's, his whole family lives here in Eugene. So that's one of the other beautiful things about being here, is that he gets to spend that quality time with his family as well. And he gets to go, him and Woo get to go on walks every night with his mom and dad, you know, and Woo, of course, loves that. She loves Grandma. Spoils her. It's super cute. It's really cute. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I've got a struggle with leaving, a struggle with going, you know what I mean? It's like I am true to that Cancer personality, I guess, you know, if you're into astrology at all, but I am very true. My home is my, you know, my sanctuary. And so, but that's been the beauty of this, is we've cleaned out all that negative energy from the chemo and all of that darkness. And it brought up a lot of raw emotions in me, and man, I was really depressed there for a while. I even reached out to Danielle and was like, I cannot get out of this funk, and I just couldn't snap out of it. And so, that's one of the things that, I don't follow traditional religions anymore, but I am a firm believer in God. And so my prayer time is very private, and I take that time very seriously, and so I spend a lot of time in deep prayer, and that's, I guess, been another fun part of bringing like magical type stuff into my world. Is there's all that stigma, with all the religions and stuff. And even though my mom brought us to church, Catholic church, raised us Catholic, she also was very good at making sure our eyes were wide open, and that she introduced us to a lot, so she put me through, that kind of the schooling. And it was really interesting because I learned a lot about tarot and palm reading and energy work and all of that kind of stuff. But with all my neurons being, deadened and my frontal lobes, having injury and dealing with a lot of that as a result, it's been tough, trying to get over that stigma and really feel my way through this. But I think I've found a way, and I'm pretty happy with it all, and I'm really excited for this journey going forward. And so, I do a lot of writing, but I never planned on publishing any of my works too much. I did publish my Iron Dog, the first in my Trail series, but it was just slapped together and thrown out there so I could meet, some kind of deadline goal I set for myself. And so it would be great to pull that out, edit it, put some pictures in, do some things with it, and modify it because the race has changed as well. So that would be something fun, I think, and a good worthwhile project. But when you're dealing with the injury with your frontal lobes, and this may help people out there, is, I was listening to Bob Van Buren's variety show while I was sorting through my closet and my room and all this stuff that I had accumulated over the years, and it was on hoarding, and it was so appropriate at the time, because it hit the mark on a lot of things, and why we hold on to certain things. I have a really bad time when someone gives me something. Like, I'm so sentimental that I can't easily let it go. And so I tend to hold on to all these gifts. Like, I have a water globe that my aunt and uncle gave to me when I was a lot younger, and it's like a ballerina teddy bear that doesn't even apply to my life. But I still have it because they've passed, and it's like one of those things where when I look at it, I can fondly remember them. And that's one of those things where certain things, it's not like they're lost in my memory, but a lot of those things do trigger those fond memories. So that's something that I have to deal with too. And collecting all these little things for my artwork, and that stuff kind of adds up. And so it was really good to take a deep exploration into why I'm doing what I'm doing, and really acknowledge that, and so with the frontal lobes, this might help some people, and this was something that they brought up on Bob's show, was the Bob Van Buren variety show. If you haven't checked it, check it out. It's a great channel. He's a really cool dude. Very interesting topics all the time. And it is a variety, so that's what I enjoy about it. But when you have frontal lobe damage, you're unable to make simple decisions. Even the most simple decisions can become overwhelming. And that is exactly what I experienced. And so it was really interesting to hear that confirmation and help put the pieces together, because sometimes when you're doing these weird things, you don't understand why you're doing them, and and they can become habits and things like that. So if you take a moment to do some self-reflection and really look inward, sometimes you'll find that there's a lot you can still learn about yourself. And so that's something that I've been working a lot on lately. And so I've been using my live streams because I've been kind of not able to edit a lot, and so I may put this up without even editing it. I considered doing this a live stream, but I really didn't want to get caught in all the distractions, and before I know it, hours will be gone by, and because I love chatting with y'all so much, and I miss y'all so much. So, but yeah, so if someone is starting to have trouble with simple decisions, if they're starting to hold on to things that they normally wouldn't hold on to, like I was holding on to boxes. So weird. Like I couldn't get rid of boxes and little containers, and it was so weird. And so, working through that and understanding that there's something going on in my head with that, and that takes a lot of courage to admit that a lot of times, because everybody wants to feel like we're perfect and our minds are this 100% operating machine, but they're not. They're not. And we really owe it to ourselves to take time for ourselves. And it's okay. It is okay. Sometimes you got to check out, shut the doors, turn off the phone, close out all the distractions, and look within. And it's a really good self-reflection usually. And I encourage that. I think there's something that, I've been dealing with all this negativity and stuff that was, I don't know, a lot of times I'll write something and it gets read in a different voice. You know what I mean? Like even there's a comment like Daniela and I laugh about all the time because I made this comment. And I made it in a you ain't the boss of me laughing, like smart ass type of comment. It wasn't that you ain't the boss of me kind of thing, and so it was really funny, the dynamics of just a simple comment and how easily things can be misunderstood. And so I try not to drag it out. I just try and let the chips lie where they lie, because my intentions and my motivations are always from a good place. And so that will always find a way to trickle its way out in the long run. And so I haven't ever really focused too much on that negativity, because I have that power or belief, faith, God loves me, and I truly know that, and that provides me with so much peace and comfort and capability to do what I do and say what I say, because it's coming from a place of truth. So it's this has been a really tough journey, but like I said today, my son, we're having his graduation ice cream party, and through my cancer, through moving, through COVID, through all of the things, going back and forth from Alaska to here, he made it happen. And I cannot express how proud of him we truly are. Since he's been 11 years old, his summers have been dedicated out to Bristol Bay. And so he hasn't really had an opportunity to have his summers, to himself. And so he's really, really worked hard to get to where he is, and we are so proud of him. So hopefully, we'll get the rest of this stuff cleared out here today, get the rest of the house cleaned up, and we see a property manager tomorrow for managing the property while we're gone, and hope for the best. They've got the World Olympic trials here this summer, and so we're hoping to be able to provide a comfortable space for some of the athletes, especially with the hot tub. It really, oh my gosh, I could not tell you how beneficial this is. Today I was so locked up, I woke up in absolute tears because the pain is so much. It's hard to really describe to people. When you are awoken every day in agonizing pain, it's exhausting. It takes it all out of you to just get up and go. So I'm telling you, people, that the people who know the struggle know, I love you all so dearly. And that's what my channel is all about, is finding a way through all this and trying to find that light at the end of the tunnel, and it not be the train. That's key. So it seems like we dodge a lot of trains, out there that just come barreling down. But if there's some kind of advice I can offer to those who want to be very condemning of others and are in a place of judgment towards others, regardless of what it's about, maybe, just maybe, do yourself a little test. Do you spend more time criticizing others and pointing outwards than you do looking in and providing yourself that self-reflection? Because I think that is a lot of what is going on in a lot of the Bigfoot community and other areas, is that there's so many people that are quick to condemn and judge and have these knee-jerk reactions, and they forget the flow of life comes in these highs and lows, and no one's perfect. We're all struggling with our own burdens. And so when we're able to recognize that in one another and provide that space of peace and honor and respect for the journey we're all on. We are all on a journey. Sometimes our paths intertwine and sometimes they rumble up. But regardless, those interactions are an opportunity for a deep dive within and a lesson to learn so you can grow and expand as a human soul. Why else are we here? Are we here to just struggle through the day-to-day grind? Or are we here for something bigger? Are we here for a bigger picture? Is there something more to this beautiful life? And I believe there is. I've seen enough in my experiences to know. We just have to want it, and if we keep staying trapped in these circles of hatred and division and all of this, we're never going to get out of this constant loop. We are stuck in this rinse and repeat of catastrophic failures while expecting different results every time. And we don't recognize the insanity of it all. We need to. Our collective subconscious as a species is yarding each one of us out of our comfort zones for a reason. It's time for us to grow. It's time for us to expand. It's time for us to let go of all this baggage that we hold on to because we think it serves us one way or another. You know, there's a lot of people who like to be angry because it serves them. You know, if someone's sitting there and they're talking to you with their arms crossed, that is a very defensive position, and the body language speaks so much. You know, there's protection going on there. There's defense. There's so much going on in just this tucked position. So when you see this in someone, recognize they've got an internal struggle going on as well. You know, if there's anything good that comes from all this suffering and all this agonizing pain and struggle that I seem to just can't seem to get out of, is the lesson, you know, that our shadow selves, those dark parts of ourselves, those pieces of ourselves that we don't want to acknowledge, that we don't like to see, that we shut the door on, and every time they come out, it can be embarrassing, it can be humiliating, it can be scary, it can be all of those things. But once we learn to look at that shadow self and recognize that that is a piece of us, that is a part of our personality, and to allow that growth and that bond to begin, you will understand that when that shadow person arises, and once you've made that connection, it will be there in a form of protection. And it may be a truth that others need to hear, as painful as it could be for them. But when you stay in that truth of your own, you know, peace, of that inner knowing that your intentions and your motivations are coming from a place of love, then love conquers all. Like, it eradicates fear. It puts to rest all the ugliness. And so hopefully, tubers and footers, we can find some love out of the little things we enjoy in life. You know, I'm super locked up and I'm having a hard time today. But this soak is gonna help. I'm gonna get out of here and we're gonna pull it together. You know, I just absolutely refuse to give up. And I hope that helps others who are struggling. Because when I was struggling, I was looking for that in someone, you know, that, look, life sucks. You're dealt with a lot of shit, but guess what? It's how you handle it that really shines through. That's the beauty of it all. You know, it's when we're dealt with shit, it's how we handle it, you know. And so if we just open ourselves to more of that loving kindness towards one another, I think we have an opportunity to really see something incredible grow. You know, I really feel like as we're on the verge of something big in the Bigfoot community, you know. Carrie's making these huge strides, you know, to do something different. And Matt with his, you know, photography. I mean, all of these things, you know, Matt from Central Florida Bigfoot, they're going to make a difference. Something big is going to crack. Like, if we focus on going forward on this path together and just let all the bullshit, you know, sift its way through, and we focus on that end target, something amazing is truly going to come through. Because we don't need science and everything. You know, there's been plenty of armchair scientists, you know, that have discovered planets and all sorts of cool things. So, you know, the potential's out there. We just gotta want it. So I'm gonna get out of here and get moving and grooving and get on with the show, and I'll definitely take some shorts or something during Joe's graduation party, because I am so very proud of him. So very proud. He's done a lot to get where he is. Oh, another thing before I forget. I have, if you have not had an opportunity to check out Gemma Jade's channel, she's an oracle. And she does Moon Bear Oracle. She's got 2 channels. Go check her out and see what she's about. She's working on this new endeavor, and I'm really excited for her. She's creating all these moon waters and all these elixirs that truly help. Like these energy fields that are around us, sometimes they get cluttered with all this negativity and just and sometimes just the certain herbs and that spray of freshness, you know. It's and it's an acknowledgement that you are clearing that energy away from you too, you know. And so reach out, see what she has to offer. You know, she's very intuitive, and I see her going far. I see a lot of amazing things in her, and there's just something really unique and special about her. And she too, you know, has overcome a lot and absolutely refuses to give up. And that is, I love that in people. I just love to see that play out. You know, when they embrace their passions and are able to create something truly incredible. So if you want a tarot reading, you know, I haven't been able to reconnect all my neurons and get all that stuff back together, but I'm working on it. And that's somewhere, you know, I look to her a lot for, you know, learning and guidance and a lot. So she's really someone special and unique. So go make sure you check her out and see what she has to offer you. You never know. All right, tubers and footers, I'm pruning up. I better get out of here. Get busy. Hopefully my body will cooperate. I'm gonna have to ice it for a little bit after here, but it's all good, right? You just absolutely refuse to give up. It's so much easier to curl up in bed, pull the covers over your head, and go. It really is. But where's the fun in that? You know, sometimes I find that when I don't want to do something, if I push myself and really push through and make it to that event or that thing or whatever, it becomes something so much more. And it is truly an experience I cherish. So try that out for yourselves, tubers and footers. See what's out there. And most of all, never ever give up. I love you guys dearly. I hope this reaches you well and in a good place, and you are in a safe space. And know that I love you. I really do. I truly love you, and I appreciate each one of you. I do. I do. We need to see where we're at with our subs. I don't even know where we're at. All right, tubers and footers, we're out. It's been about a half an hour. I'm well pruned up. I'm gonna dunk my head and cleanse and release. Cleanse and release and give it all to God. All right, take care. We'll see you soon.